necessarily crack cocaine
I think
and has to necessarily go along with the brothel.
I
But
just think if you're the prostitute, if you have the seniority, I think it's seniority system. If you have the
hmm?
seniority and you're the favorite of the pimp daddy as they call them, then you're
or
get
actually, if we're talking about a brothel, you're talking about a madam generally,
oh fair,
not a pimp.
fair,
Yeah, there's generally
fair,
a madam who would run
fair.
a because a brothel is a
You're right.
more
Women and
reputable
women. Yes,
establishment. Women, yeah,
yes.
that is not,
Yeah.
you know,
Women run
yeah,
by
not
women.
some
Yes.
guy in a zebra coat, you know,
with
in
the
the
with the
street.
with the tall heel shoes with the fish and the fish tanks and
Exactly,
yeah, yeah, no, yes.
exactly. I mean, he has his place, but it's not the head of
It's
the
not
brothel.
that, right? No, I know it's not the head of the brothel. Yeah.
Anyway, so what else? What did you end up doing at the brothel?
Okay, we're live, and
Oh,
yeah.
this is
So
awkward.
for
What
the
did you end up
okay,
doing at the brothel?
If Mrs. Vanguard happens to be watching, I was not at a brothel at any
No.
point in time ever. I think actually,
Oh, I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
What?
So there we go. Here we are.
Man,
Oh
oh, you just
lordy.
hit that button at sometimes, and wow, I just
It's
never know what to expect.
when the time comes and the people are waiting, we
Keep me
gotta
on
go.
my toes
Super
there,
J's
Vanguard.
already here,
Appreciate
dude.
that.
Super J's already here. Like, listen to you go on
Hey,
about
Super J.
things that are not
But
true.
listen
Yes.
about your brothel experience. I don't know. I don't. It's I
Oh Lord. All
um.
right. Well, welcome everyone, and we are here again for
Welcome.
another episode of the show we like to call "Okay Seriously," where you ask the questions and we get the answers. Green Pants here as always. Always a pleasure. Glad you're
Hello,
here.
everybody.
We're here to prepare to
Um.
give the help, and especially in this time of holiday season.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we should jump right in, right?
Uh,
So let's see what we got today.
Society is falling apart amongst us, so we want to see where we can hopefully step in and maybe, help
Yes,
help provide a little uh, salve for the suffering of the world.
that's right. That's right. Okay,
All right,
so
what's the first question?
yeah, so here we go. So first one comes from Angelica from Houston, Texas. So Angelica
Okay.
says, "My husband, who's a 32-year-old male, went out on his birthday, did cocaine for the first time, and spent $3,000 at the strippers, and I'm not sure what to do."
Oh, this is
I am
how
go,
apropos of what
right
we were
out
talking about
right out
before.
of, right out
Right out of
the
the
gate.
gate.
We're back,
Okay,
yeah.
Angelica, let's
So
go.
Angelica's
Okay.
a 30-year-old female. She's always expressed to him, "I
Okay.
dislike the idea of strip clubs in general." Then I found out that he paid for him and his two friends to have dances. Then he actually spent 3K there while there for 4 hours. I also found out that he ended doing cocaine for the first time. I can't help but feel like it was something more than a lap dance. I feel so sad and betrayed. As I'm naive about strip clubs, I don't know what can actually happen there. Am I overreacting? Crap. Unfortunately, Angelica, you've
Okay.
come to the right place.
You have absolutely come
I'm
to the right
sorry
place.
to say.
Are you overreacting? Yes.
No, she's
If
not.
if I had if I had no yes, if I had a dollar for every time, I'm sorry, if I had a dollar for every time I had dropped $3,000 in a strip club and did a little bit of cocaine, I'd have like $20 to like go and spend on cocaine.
If
Like
this, I'm saying if this dude spent $3,000 in 4 hours, he got more than a lap dance.
no, he did not.
Absolutely did.
There is no sex in
There
the
is
champagne room.
sex in the champagne room if you go to the right
No,
champagne
there's
room.
not. Absolutely not. As someone who has absolutely spent more than $3,000 at a strip club, there is nothing more. Okay. If you're concerned, Angelica, that he got more than a lap dance, I can stop you right there. He was merely taken in by a consummate business professional,
Hmm.
who basically knows nothing, who's the best person at getting credulous, horny men separated from their currency
Yes,
as
it's a
rapidly
skill.
as possible. I mean,
It's a skill.
like no, nothing really happened except some like rich girl bosses, fleeced your husband for a down payment on their Tesla Model S. Like it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who amongst us hasn't accidentally done cocaine? I mean, like at least, come on. I mean, it's almost impossible not to stumble upon it. You stumble upon cocaine. What are you do? Not gonna do it? Someone puts cocaine, you're gonna
Sure.
be like, no, thank you. You're gonna be rude. You're gonna be rude like that. I mean,
Oh lordy. Okay,
like
what is this?
I mean,
Florida?
listen. No, okay, all right, come on. Right.
I just think 3,000. So I'm thinking when back in the heyday when we would occasionally attend such establishments, as you remember, I'm thinking $300 for a private dance is what I recall, and that's 10 minutes.
No, well, it
I'm trying to do
very
up the
much depends
costs.
on the establishment that you're at.
There.
Go to. If we're talking, you know, if we're talking Webster, Massachusetts, or we're talking Vegas, are we at the Fuzzy Grape,
Different experiences, or
or are we at the Bellagio? Like,
right? The Crazy Horse,
it's
the Club Crazy Horse, or
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah. You're right, and
Um,
like Spearmint Rhino, right in Vegas, is a pretty
right,
which I
exactly.
believe we both attended at one point, one
I
time or
have
another.
been there.
Yes, I did not spend close to
Definitely
three
more than
thousand
one point.
dollars. I did not spend $3,000 there.
Well, good for you. That's great for you. I
But
love
I
that for
mean,
you.
I
Okay,
enjoyed
I mean, you're
myself
great
quite a
with
bit,
money. You're
and I did not
okay.
spend.
Feeling judged.
I
I don't know.
sure.
Feeling a
I
little bit
just think
judged.
I think $3,000. Unless again, this is like the I don't
No,
know.
this is what. Is it a lot of money? Yes. But what I am
Absolutely.
saying though is that if he paid for, what she's saying is him and his friend.
Yeah.
So for
Oh,
two
I
guys
see.
to spend $3,000 at a strip club for being there 4 hours is not difficult to imagine, because
Fifteen
this is
hundred.
not like
I'm with you with 1,500.
because also
Three
it's like
thousand. That was a little.
they're just, most of that is other women coming in and being like, "Oh, can you give her a can she give you?" Because
Yeah.
there's that's where they start when the business, they know where the money is. They know when the engineering dorky guys come
Oh
in
yeah,
that actually
totally.
have like are flush with money,
Oh my God.
and they just completely
Hello.
swarm because it's like they're
Absolutely.
like, okay, this is someone who is harmless and
Oh,
who has money in his pocket that he's going to
I
give
am
me
hugely
without a
popular with
problem
this.
at
I
all.
am hugely popular with the strip club for this very reason. You know, I'm very
Absolutely,
yeah. I had guys
you
that
know.
used to bring me, even if I didn't want to go. They would bring me there, walk in, and I would say, okay, which girl would you like to have some time with? And they say that one. I'm like, okay, done. And I would look at her from across the room and do whatever, and she would appear, and she would say, hey, you
Wow,
want to dance? And I said, no, but my friend would, and then off they go, and they're done, and my mission's accomplished. And I have a ginger ale, and I go home.
that is that's a service I think that you could sell.
Like a
That's,
wingman. I guess I'm a strip
you know,
club wingman.
yeah, yeah, that's like a wingman. Yeah. Uh,
I guess.
but so Angelica, but my only point is that spending the $3,000 is not great, but if you're worried that something happened of like a sexual nature, it did not.
Right.
He had you can very easily drop $3,000 in a
Yeah.
strip club and never actually touch a female the
Right.
entire time.
That is so. I'm revising my version of the story. There were three of them, him and his two friends. So it's 1,000 each for 4 hours. That's no problem.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
Okay.
no
Well,
problem.
it's not even this no problem. I'm just saying if she's
Spend.
worried. So, because what she's saying is that she's naive about strip clubs. So she's like, I feel, that's too much money.
Oh, she's threatened.
It's not.
It's
That
not.
is literally
Right.
how much money
So,
they're able to
I'm
take
now on
from
the
us
same page
because
with that.
we're
Not
dumb.
too much money. That
Yeah.
is an average amount of money to spend for that amount of time for three guys. So
Right. That and the cocaine. Look, if he starts to get a deviated septum, call a hotline. But like, doing a little nose candy on your birthday is not it's not a big deal. I'm sorry.
that's the bigger
I mean,
concern in the
it's like,
strippers, I would say.
do
But
okay. I think I can say confidently that doing blow, China White, whatever, has never actually caused any problems in all of recorded history. So, if you give me one documented case,
the exception of
cocaine,
all of the problems.
okay, listen.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the strip club.
feeling you're feeling coming off judgy.
I
It's
gotta-
like you want to put a snow cap on your bowl.
Right.
Who's to say, it's fine. It's just
Credit card, the mirror, the whole thing.
yeah.
I think cocaine's not really in vogue anymore.
You just need a
Right?
flat
Is it?
surface. The mayor,
You don't need the mirror.
it doesn't.
It's not even in anymore.
No, it's
like
in vogue. It is. It
not
is
in
not
vogue.
in vogue.
It's not.
No,
Fentanyl's
no.
in vogue. Like opioids are in vogue.
No,
right? Those are
well,
the things to do.
they're not really in. It's not in. Well, it depends because the cocaine is something that's like a party drug.
Right.
Heroin is not a party drug.
True. That's what you do alone, and you
do
like pray for the universe.
Yeah,
to end.
like
Yeah.
that's right. Fentanyl kills you.
Right.
Like fentanyl is where if there's some fentanyl in there and it's distributed wrong, you die
Yeah.
from like one.
Right. It's like kids don't do drugs.
And if it's
The lesson,
carfentanil,
drugs are bad. Okay, don't drugs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
especially that. But
yeah.
like cocaine, you're sniffing cocaine or is very, very different than,
Yeah.
you know,
Fentanyl. No, I get you. It's a different environment.
although
So
you,
seeing all that
although
stuff.
probably avoid snorting anything because it could be fentanyl. So, that's
Right.
probably,
Nothing
it's out
should
there.
really go in your nose except air, or if you need like a nasal spray for allergies. Like that's pretty much it.
Right.
I want to say.
You know,
Normal
or
things.
cocaine on your birthday.
Or
I mean,
so
you know,
Super Days are throwing out drinks, and yes, at the strip club the drinks are very overpriced, but not more so than they
exactly.
would be at a major city bar,
And
right? I mean, it's
what is,
15
but
bucks
you're
for
also,
15 bucks for a cocktail, 10 bucks for a beer, kind of thing.
what is the first thing that a lady of the night says when she comes up to you? She says,
Can you buy me a
me a drink?"
Right.
So
Well,
right
again, they're
there,
free
they're
drinks.
like, "Oh, boom! There's like $10 that."
Right.
So it
You
racks up
just
so
called her. You
quickly.
slipped. You just Freudian slipped. You called her the lady of the night, which implies a prostitute, stripper.
She's an exotic dancer.
There you go.
I was. Oh, yes, you're right. I was. The ladies of the night, or at the Yab Yum. We covered that in a previous.
We talked about the
episode.
Yab Yum. Yes.
Yeah. But
So
yes,
yeah, to
these
summarize,
are,
did
these
he?
are just,
So
as I said, they're girl bosses. They're
Yeah.
they're making their way in the world using what they got, and probably making a healthy amount of money, such as, I don't know,
Yeah.
$3,000
right.
off,
So
some dude who,
right. So, and so we're doing the math here, Angelica, as you could see, and figuring out the money and stuff. And it is extremely unlikely that anything happened with these strippers beyond
Right.
what he
Yeah,
said happened.
absolutely
So
not.
I would not be as worried
Right.
about that. But like, I mean, I'd be concerned about his behavior and how much money he dropped. Right. This is where we have a conversation. You know what I mean? And sort of like say,
Right.
hey, this is how you're spending our money. We're trying to pay off bills. We're trying to do this, and you're going off blowing money on strippers.
Right.
I'm not okay with this. What do we do? And then you have a conversation
Right.
about it, and he'll say, "Well, I kind of," and then get to the meat of it. Like, why do you like going to those things? He's like, "Well, I hang out with my friends and da 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 da. Well, maybe you can do something else. Maybe you can do this. Maybe you can do this. Maybe you can set a budget.
mean,
Next we're gonna. Anyway,
Yeah, you're feel betrayed if you had already had like a previous, understanding that you weren't going to do these types of things, but not in a, I have been cheated on type of way. More of like,
Right.
my husband went out and spent $3,000 without asking me. type
that's
of
the
way,
more concern.
you know,
And
which
the
is-
fact that your husband now does
you know-
cocaine. That's also concerning.
Right. No, your husband did cocaine on his birthday. I think we're all making a little bit too much about the cocaine. Probably husband. I'm not sure why he decided to mention
Yeah.
that, on quite honestly.
So her big
Probably
concern.
been better off
I know,
if he had not mentioned the cocaine.
He
at
should
all.
probably have left the cocaine out. I know. So the big concern about the strip clubs is like, he could. Here's what he could have done. He could have bought the cocaine, did the cocaine, brought the cocaine to the strip club. When she asks, "Hey, baby, you want to buy me a drink?" He's like, "Hey, I got some coke for you instead." She's like, "Rock on, we're gonna go party."
Sounds like you've done this before.
Might happen.
Hey,
I don't want to
if
worry,
you're
Angelica.
Well, Oregon, cocaine's been decriminalized.
I didn't know that.
Like if you,
Oh, did it?
if you get caught with, it's like a $100 fine or something like that. But basically that, and like mushrooms and all this other
Yeah,
stuff.
psychedelics. Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's
You
coming.
can,
run the
small
political circuit
amounts
now.
for personal use.
Yeah.
It's like if you get caught with a small amount of cocaine, it's like
Oh,
a
which is
maximum
fine because
$100 fine, but it's not a criminal.
we're jailing people for ridiculous offenses. I mean, we just clearly the biggest offender of our jailing people is just
Right.
But we diverge.
Yeah,
So
I think
Angelica,
if they,
oh, I'm
they
sorry,
make you
go
do
ahead.
like a health check or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no like
exactly.
crime.
Right.
You have no criminal record because of it.
So Angelica, the big thing is right is that since you don't know what goes on in strip clubs, you have a couple options. One is like we're kind of telling you what happens there is that these women are extremely skilled at identifying men who are googly eyed and amazed at what they're seeing out of their money. Right, so that's their God-given talent of doing that, right?
All surrounded by armed security.
Yes, and things are very controlled, right?
That's
So
that's
because
important to
it-
remember.
If it like you can look at the number of strip clubs that get closed because the strippers are turning tricks, which is offering sex favors, right? And those strip clubs get shut down quickly because
Very
the police
quickly.
will go undercover. They will get proposition. They say, okay, this place is done, and it gets shut down, right? So the business owners have a vested interest in making sure there's no funny business going on. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing. So keep that in mind. The other thing is if it is a big
If
mystery
it was
to you.
a thing, we would know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You've come to the right
Honestly,
place. We would absolutely know.
I have been propositioned twice at two different strip clubs. One of them very reputable, so very shocking. Yeah, I won't name names, but because we're live. But yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I was shocked actually.
Oh, But was it a offer for something away from the club
No.
at a different location,
No.
or right there on the
It
property?
was a, here's a condom, put this on.
Okay.
500 bucks, here's what's about to happen. And I was like, I will not be partaking in that, but thank you for that wonderful offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Angelica, that rarely ever happens.
It's rare. These places will be closed down, right? Again, I don't want to scare you, Angelica, but I did want to be honest about this, the experience I had. But
you did. You just
I
scared
did.
the shit
I
out of
should have just kept to
Angelica.
my
Not sure
I know.
why you did that.
I don't know why. I
That's
should have kept to
kinda weird.
myself.
I don't know why.
I know. Who knows?
You just came
Who
sliding
can
at the end, being
say?
like, "Yeah, well,
Angelica, it's fine. By the way, this could happen. No, anyway.
bye, Angelica.
Very unlikely to happen.
Good luck."
Especially not for the money that we're talking about here. So the thing is that the so your options, you could offer to go with him and maybe remove some of the stigma. Couples that go to the strip clubs are not unusual. You know, you might see what it's about. You might enjoy yourself. Who knows? So that's an option too. But yeah, you should definitely talk. You have to talk to your husband about his behavior. Why he's spending so much money on these things,
and find out if someone offered him a condom and said, "Hey, for $500,"
Yeah.
because apparently this happens at the strip clubs the Vanguard goes
Well,
to. So,
you were at this
You know?
particular strip club with me, actually.
I know.
And I didn't say anything at
Pots,
the time, but
kettle,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
I just was hoping that you wouldn't point that out, but you did, and so
it was
now
a lot.
that's
It was
egg on my
it was an age in bygone past. It was a long time ago. So let's leave it that way. So Angelica, good luck with the communication with your husband. Hopefully you guys work it out. Share how you feel. Have an honest conversation about it. All right, here we go. Next one from Greg from Waterbury, Connecticut. I'm very familiar with Waterbury, as are you. Greg says, "How can I quit my job professionally without notice? I have been okay, answer you can't. I have been at the same job for 6 years now. I won't go into detail, but this job is abusive and has been negatively affecting my mental and physical health. It's reached the nasty point the last few weeks to where I'm having panic attacks daily, need to get out ASAP. I'm planning on sending a text message to my boss. How can I word it as effectively and cordially as possible? I don't want this to affect my ability to get a job in the same industry." Greg, the answer is you give your 2 weeks, and you suck it up for 2 more weeks. That's my answer.
My answer, Greg, come over here to camera 2, okay? You can block out Vanguard here. Okay, listen.
I'll cover my
Do
ears.
not worry about being cordial to these demented fuckers, okay? They would not stop for a moment to murder both you and a barrel of puppies in order to ensure that their Q1 fiscal revenue went up by 3 cents, okay? Not for a moment. So unless you are part of a small like niche industry, like I don't know, like high-end fiberglass charcuterie board manufacturing or something, telling your current employers to go fuck themselves is not going to stop you from getting another job in that industry.
I don't agree. I would not do that.
I mean, my disclaimer is, I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but if these people are like, no, yeah, I would say, telling them, I think you can tell them to go fuck themselves, and as long as you don't burn the building down with everybody in it, I think you can easily do that without consequences.
That's an office space.
Listen, okay, if you were to do something like that,
we do not advocate.
It would require a lot of planning, and a Tor browser,
so anyway,
and an Onion browser for the dark web.
The dark web.
Which, if you want to DM me, because if you use Tor and you go to VPN, okay, afterward you just.
All right, so Greg, you've gone this far. You've been there 6 years. You got to be able to pull off 2 more weeks, my friend. I don't know what else to tell you. It's the professional thing to do.
Why
and
does
really,
he have to?
if you give the notice, right,
I
and you
disagree.
say,
Strong
"Hey,
disagree.
I've decided it's time for me to leave. I like to give my 2-week notice. I'm just unhappy here. Anything I can assist in the transition, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and wait my 2 weeks out." They may very well tell you, "No, we want you the last day to be today," and then done. Right?
I'm saying
a lot of companies do that.
If he is having panic attacks daily, like actual panic attacks,
been there 6 years.
Fuck them. Listen.
6 years.
I mean,
suck it up for 2 weeks. You can do anything for 2 weeks.
Okay. Yes. Can you do it cordially? No, you can't. I totally agree that you can't. No, I do not feel that. Okay. possible for him to do it, yeah. Should
Oh.
he have to for the sake of future job prospects? I don't think so.
Do it now. Well, here's a compromise. It's the
All
perfect
I'm
time.
saying is that I am employed,
Yes.
and I have told many people to go fuck themselves, and I'm still.
Greg, do you have any vacation
You
time
know.
left? If so, you can use your 2 weeks taking your paid time off. Another option.
Well, I mean, I think he would. Well, then that's not considered really given the 2 weeks notice. It's like it just the
Company may-
2 weeks notice. Right, that's what I'm saying. If you're
Yeah.
talking about cordially, though, but like if
Right.
you're just using your vacation, you typically you give the 2 weeks notice. You work the 2 weeks and your PTO is just paid out as cash, as in a check, and then so it's for the transition. But yeah, I think of so many, even like where I've listened to people like screaming at one another in an office, like executives. And like throughout my career and whatever,
Yes.
they're all still out there on LinkedIn, all doing the same stuff.
I
Like,
guess.
you know, the
Alright, well,
woman that called this guy a motherfucker and the thing, and was like, yep, you know what?
BFFs on LinkedIn.
Now she's, yeah.
Can I call for a
you,
reference?
you know?
Absolutely. I'll give you a reference.
Yeah. And the thing is, because you're not allowed to give a bad reference, so
Right.
you know, so. All they can say is, I confirm that you worked here. Like, you're not,
Right.
you know, so most of the time they just don't want to get into it. So
Right.
people just don't like
I don't know.
spread the word.
My approach is the
Oh.
open, honest thing, as you know. So I would go and say, "Hey, I've decided to leave the company for a new position. You know, I like my last day to be tomorrow. Whatever you think is fair, we can negotiate. But that's my preference."
Hey,
And then see what they say.
I'm all about being open and honest. He wants
Are
to
you?
use a text
Are
message.
you though?
The text message, you can say, "Die in a fire, fuckers. I'm not coming back in."
And that's open
Love,
and honest.
Craig.
Greg
Hearts
from
and
Waterbury, Connecticut.
Yeah, you know who this
Smooch,
is from.
smooch, love, eggplant emoji.
Not a problem. Do that and don't feel bad about it.
All right.
If you're
Well,
worried, fine, we can do. But you are doing nothing wrong if people are giving you panic attacks and are being so that. I mean, he's basically saying they're being abusive and it's affecting his mental health, and you're saying, hey, why don't you just stick it out for away?
I am saying that.
I'd be like,
Because I think
no.
Greg's I don't know. I don't want to diminish Greg's symptoms and how he feels. However, that's kind of what I'm doing, I guess.
Yeah, that is exactly what you are doing.
I am. I know I am.
Vanguard.
I admit my bias. I just can't imagine a situation where it's that bad. And you're right, because I've just been fortunate to have been in that situation. But even the absolute worst situation,
if I substituted,
I can do the right thing, give it the 2 weeks.
If I substituted Katie for Greg,
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
would you have the exact? Would you say? Would you
Well,
tell
I
Katie
would.
stick it out?
I would barge into that office and I would protect Katie and carry her out.
Kick everyone's ass.
And I would kick the shit out of everyone.
But yeah,
people.
but think,
And I would
think
protect
about that, though.
Katie.
If this was somebody, you'd be like, no way.
Kidding.
Would you say stick it out for 2 more? I'd be like, what the fuck? No way. Get the
All
hell out of
right, maybe I'm just thinking it's. I looked at the 6 years. I can't let the 6 years go. I'm like, he's been there 6 years. He can't do 2 more freaking weeks, but fair.
I'm not saying he can't.
I went to the
I'm just
text
saying-
message. All right. I'll go with the compromise. I went to the text message. I go in person and say, I just want you to know I've decided to leave the company. Today's my last day. Anything you need from me within the next few hours, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you for the opportunity and take care. Stop.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You know, some peppered bullshit.
You can
right?
take care.
Yeah. You know.
Alternatively, Greg,
Yes.
you could text your boss.
I know you're gonna do it. A burning pile of poo, perhaps. A gif of a burning pile of poo.
You can say, listen, I've had strong feelings for you for a long time. I have wanted to act on those feelings, but it isn't appropriate.
Touche.
So the best thing for us to do is to part ways
Mhm.
and never see each other again.
No.
It's the only way
No.
that I can handle this heartbreak.
That's pretty
Send.
good. That's not bad, actually. Send.
Block.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Just saying.
Oh,
It's very
Lordy.
cordial.
All right. Well, Greg, we've given you a
But
spectrum of,
Vanguard wouldn't do it because it's all a lie.
and it's a
But,
lie.
you know, because he doesn't
yeah,
read any of it.
I don't lie. I know. So
Listen,
Greg,
hey, if you don't want to say fuck off, then that's it. That's my option B. That's all you
all
get.
right. Well, we've given you a spectrum of options, Greg. So hopefully one of those work for you. And yeah, good luck getting out of that job. Find something new. You'll find something. And the last 6 years would be a blur. And it's one. I've worked at a bunch of bad places in my life, and it's basically like it's wonderful to see. A, when the grass is greener is awesome, but also like of how not to be. You know what I mean? It's like, especially like my management. Now that I've been in management for a while, it's basically like, oh, that boss I had, I'm never gonna do what he did. It's
Exactly.
a very good lesson to learn.
Like, oh, when someone did that, I found it super annoying. I'm
Yes.
gonna make sure I don't
Yes.
do that thing, or I will ask, hey, some people might appreciate that, but other people don't. So why don't
Yep.
I find out what their preference is, rather than be like, this is the thing that I just do for everybody.
Yes. Absolutely. So yeah. So good luck,
I
Greg.
have some very specific things that I can think of behind that.
We wish you luck in your
My brain
professional
is
career.
Great degree of specificity.
Specificity, yes. Let's see. This one comes from Annabelle
right.
from Highland Beach,
3.
Maryland. Question 3, yeah. Annabelle. Annabelle
Annabelle?
says,
Alright.
"Hey guys, to put it simply, I've kind of seeing myself as a lesbian for a really long time now. Long term, I see myself spending the rest of my life with a woman, but I can't get my eyes off guys as well as it doesn't feel right to me. I feel like I'm just forcing my sexuality and pushing because I like the aesthetics or something. I mean, I don't think I want to be a lesbian, at least now that I've matured more, but I don't really know. What should I do?" Annabelle.
Oh, okay, perfect. This is exactly the sort of question that you come
Yes.
to cis white
Yes.
hetero males on the internet
We're actually authorities on this
to
kind of
answer.
stuff, actually. Yes, right.
Yes. So, okay. Honestly, I'm not sure if there's anything that you actually need to do, really. I mean, just be you and follow your own instincts. Like, sexuality is a spectrum.
Yeah.
It's not some black and white turnkey operation where, certain bits only work with other pieces. It's
Yeah, you definitely sound in the
it's-
bi spectrum, Annabelle. I mean, you
Yeah,
find guys
and that's
attractive, you
fine.
find women attractive. Have you had sex with a woman? I don't think you have, according to your comment.
that she sees herself with the woman.
Sees herself
yeah,
as
did
a
it say-
lesbian. Yeah, no, it doesn't say she. It'd be interesting if you've been with a woman and how you enjoyed that experience. Would be good to know. That may help guide the advice there. But yeah, but if you find yourself attracted to men, have sex with men. Find yourself attracted to women, have sex with women. If you can't stand being around men for a long term, have short term relationships with men and live with a woman. Look at Thelma and Louise. What are the famous Kate and Allie? Thelma and Louise. One Day at a
Laverne and
Time. Laverne and Shirley. What else? Let's keep going.
Mork and Mindy.
No,
no,
different.
wait.
Mork and Mindy.
That was an
Remember
alien.
the show Kate
Oh,
and
wait.
Allie? I really like that one, actually. No, not
wait.
Alf. Not Alf. What else?
Three's Company. Fuck.
Help us. No, not that either. It was a guy. All right, we got to think. Gilmore Girls. No, mother and daughter doesn't count.
Ethel and Lucy.
Ethel and Lucy. There we go. Ethel, but they had husbands.
yeah.
But if Ethel and Lucy lived together, that it would be that. Yeah.
But I think even what she's almost saying here is that I think I might, be that she's attracted to women, but I might not sure if I'm attracted to guys because that's culture, that's society's expectation of me.
We missed
what
a
I
big
mean?
one.
And-
Sex in the City. Golden Girls.
Oh, are we still back to just women living
Yeah.
together? Facts of life.
Grace. Facts of Life. Thank you. You take the good, you take the bad.
Yeah.
Take the bad. Both, and there you have Facts of Life.
Yep, that is
When
that
the
song.
world can never see.
Please stop.
You've been living.
Please,
your
God, stop.
dreams.
And then-
Suddenly you find it out. the facts of
okay,
life.
stop.
All right.
Okay.
Grace and Frankie, which is a show I enjoyed very much.
Regardless, what-
Or irregardless.
I think the point is, be whatever you want. It's all good.
It's
You
all
know what I
good.
mean? It's as long as no one's getting murdered, do what you want.
Yeah, and so just to be clear, Annabelle, like you talk about, like, I don't know why, I just like the aesthetics. That's attraction. You have attraction to that person. So if you look at a guy,
Right.
nice cut shoulders and like arms and got a big pack, you're attracted to that. You're like, ooh, it means you kind of want to have sex with a guy, and that's okay, right? You could have, you
Well,
want that.
I took that to be aesthetics. Like she could mean the aesthetics of a male and female relationship, like the aesthetics
Oh,
of
maybe I
being a
misunderstood.
couple.
Oh, I
At
see.
least
I
that's
see.
how I.
Oh,
that's how I
she's
interpret
trying to justify away her attraction to men. that what you're kind of hearing? Okay.
Right, exactly. Being like,
Yeah.
oh, I see myself with a man. Well, that's just because
Of
I'm supposed to
men,
be like,
right? I'm supposed to be hetero. No, no, no. I don't
fence
think
and
so.
had this thing. Yeah,
I don't think so. You could be
but
legitimately attracted to men.
yeah,
It's okay. It's okay
absolutely.
to have sex with men. It's okay to have sex
I
with
mean,
men and women.
we're gross, but
It's okay.
sure, you know,
We are
whatever.
gross. We shouldn't be seeing the light of day.
But yeah, whatever it is, it's
That
fine.
thing just
You know,
dangling off.
and uh, the key is to really not worry about it because it doesn't, you know, let
Right.
it just, and it may change as you know lived experience goes on, and
Mhm.
that's fine too.
Yeah.
So,
Meet a woman and get in a
you know,
relationship with her, right? And then enjoy that. If you want to have sex with a man, go have that. The thing that to your benefit, if you at some point in your life decide you want to have sex with a man again, it's obscenely easy to do.
that is true.
You
It is- it is very-
you
it's
need
very
merely
easy to do.
ask. And it
Yeah,
will
so
happen.
that is true. Yeah, that is
in
true.
any usual place.
I can back that up with actual, practical real life experience.
Yes.
So, so in answer to your question, you don't need to do anything specifically, or, you know, you could pursue one of the many options presented by Vanguard.
Yeah. And you don't be always with the labels, right? If you're on the spectrum, you're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Don't say, well, I don't know if I'm a lesbian. Then just be a person who occasionally sleeps with women. Or be a person
Right.
who occasionally
Yeah.
sleeps with men and enjoys long-term relationships with women. Perfect.
Yeah,
You know?
because honestly, I think as like the LGBTQ as more letters get added, I think it makes it less like the label itself. It's just like we don't even need. You know what I
Don't
mean?
need the label,
'Cause
right?
it's like,
It should just be called
I'm a
plus
da-da-da-da,
now. The whole
it's
thing
like,
is
oh,
plus.
okay,
Remove
that's
all the
fine.
labels, just say
Right.
plus. It's like whatever the fuck you want to
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm Faye. Sure.
Right.
Okay. Like I don't
Hello, Faye.
know what the levels of that, but okay,
Right.
you know. Oh well, great.
Right.
If you are, and I need to learn it to, you know, if we're to be friends, whatever. Sure, I'll figure that out.
Well, what if it says I'm Faye and I want to be in the NFL?
Good luck. I don't. I believe that is not a question that I'm really prepared to be able to do anything about.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Yes. But anyway, Annabelle, yeah, straightforward issue. I mean, don't get hung up on the labels and the societal traditions, but don't also flip it the other way, like Greenpan said you were doing. Like you're trying to say like, oh, well, I feel like I'm attracted to men, but that's just the society programming. No, you may legit be attracted to men. That's okay. Like go out with a man and have sex with them and see how it goes.
as Vanguard says,
you
you
enjoy
know,
it?
sculpted shoulders, you know,
The ripped
abdominal
abs.
muscles, just you know,
Pecs, like the
just like
chiseled
skin
chin.
with the sun-kissed.
Oh, his
cheeks.
smooth,
Yep.
supple, the
Yep.
tight ass, like a. I think I've gone too far.
Too far.
I went too far.
You went too far,
I
did.
did.
and you couldn't. You just needed to pull it back a little bit. Just, nope, couldn't do it.
All
All right, question 4.
Question 4. Good luck, Annabelle. Let's know how it goes. We would very much like to hear, actually, if you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So, okay.
We always want to know all about all of that.
Everyone's sex life, actually, we want to know about. If someone just write in and tell us about their sex life, that's fantastic. It's like we would love that.
Vanguard will read it.
I will read every every single one. Yeah. So, all right, this one comes from Clara from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Clara says, all my peers hate me because I'm the teacher's pet. How do I cope with microbullying in college? I'm in my 3rd year. I've always felt like my classmates didn't like me since day 1. For class superlatives, I was voted as teacher's pet, which I feel is the worst one. I'm finding it impossible to find friends here, especially since I'm rather introverted. Oh, Clara, I just need help coping. It's hard since my childhood friends are physically out of state. What should I do? Asks the introvert who wants friends.
Okay, first of all, I gotta say I'm a little confused.
Clara.
It's like, are you in your 3rd year of college, or are you trying to get a prom date to Bayside High School?
It
I
sounded
don't-
like both, because like superlatives, like that's not
okay,
a college thing, right?
So the
High school
concept
does
of
superlatives.
superlatives does not exist in college,
Should
and
not.
you definitely do not carry those along with you. No one knows what they are. So
Right.
there is no concept of being a teacher's pet. Being a teacher's pet in college means developing a rapport and a relationship with someone in order to make connections later on and
Correct.
perhaps get letters of recommendation, and not someone that you can just say, you know, if you could just stop bullying me for a minute. We can get back to this 5 years from now when you're serving me in the Wendy's drive-through, and move on from there.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
if tell Ashley to go fuck herself. Don't let yourself be bullied. And even if you're an introvert, that does not
Seriously.
mean introverts still require human connection.
Yes.
And you can probably find a group of a small group of like-minded people at your college and
Yes.
some sort of activity that you're all into.
In a club you're
knitting
into.
or tentacle porn.
Clubs are the best. Hentai, tentacle
any of that.
porn.
Yeah. Whatever. All the standard things. Whatever you find common cause with.
Agreed.
Superlatives.
No. And again,
Are those even a thing?
no.
Are those even a thing anywhere?
And some
I-
high schools will do it. Yeah, that's what I
I'm
don't
trying
get.
to think if
though.
they still do that now. That would be.
I think
I'm
so.
just,
I think they do.
like,
Most popular, most likely to be prom queen, most funny, most whatever. I think it's. I don't know. I think getting named, at least people see you and recognize you for you to get voted on one of those things. I would think that's a positive, right?
I mean,
Most studious, like I don't mind. I'd be like, great. People think I'm smart. Awesome, right? It's like-
well, I mean, no, it is the class superlatives is an old school way of basically
assigning your clicks.
institutionalizing
Yeah,
bullying.
sure.
Like it's a
No, I know.
it's a ridiculous thing,
Right.
and
there were
the fact
well,
that,
there were
like,
the cool
you
ones
just
that
let
was
people
like
vote on it.
most likely to be successful, prettiest, right? Like there's the good ones and there's the most artistic. Well, most artistic's good too, but like you know what I mean. Most studious, teacher's pet. Those kind of things are is that separation of the we're the cool kids, you're the not cool kids, right?
What I think a lot, like, I don't know if this happened at your school, but this is when I was in high school. This is prior to certain events in our country. So
Yes.
one of the superlatives, I know what Mrs. Green was, most likely to blow up a building
Right.
was one.
Right.
Most likely
had
to
those too,
hijack a
actually.
plane. We had hijack a plane. We had most likely to
Ixnay,
rob a
honey.
bank.
Yeah.
Most likely to commit a murder.
Yeah.
Like those were all in.
Yeah. Not
Like,
cool.
and it was like,
can't do that anymore.
that's Ron. Ron's gonna kill
Ron,
somebody.
oh, that Ron.
And the next day, now Ron's he went and killed somebody.
Right.
Like that's
And the police came and said, "Do you know he killed somebody?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not surprised. He was
Oh
voted
my
for
God,
that."
we all voted on
it. We all voted that.
Don't we feel stupid?
There we go.
Maybe you shouldn't have told Ron that.
Oh lordy. Yeah, so Clara's story is a little
Um,
weird because I can't imagine the superlative thing being in college, right? That's insane.
It's a carryover. I think Clara's holding on.
I
to
think
it
I
from-
think so too from high school. But
from
nobody
high
in
school.
nobody in
That, like-
college knows you from high school. Like
Right.
find your
And
new
they're
identity.
very different environments. In
Right.
college, you're paying to be there. Like
Right.
you're going there in order to acquire skills. You're not.
Correct.
You're not.
And make
truant
connections
if you're not there.
Right. Right.
It's
If
not
anything,
like
you
have
like,
to be there legally.
there's no teacher's pet in like if anything, like
Right,
if you're
exactly.
female,
The
you get
concept doesn't
accused
make
of
sense.
sleeping with your professor in college is the only thing that could
Right.
potentially happen, right? It's like
Yeah, but even no one's gonna say like, yeah, because you're friendly with the professor, like that's a
Right.
bad thing. It's more of like, oh crap, okay, hey, can you get a good word in? Because all
Right.
you want is you want that professor to both provide opportunities and also to
yes, because maybe they'll sponsor your
score
thesis,
well
or
on
maybe
stuff.
they'll
Exactly.
help you
Yeah.
with your academic advising or something like that, right? It's a totally different
Right.
world. You're looking at things weird, Clara. It's like you gotta adjust your thinking. You're not in high school anymore.
maybe they'll have a husband who's away a lot and they're
Oh,
alone
oh,
and their kids have gone off college and they're just alone in a big house and
All
they just
alone?
need someone to talk to and a
Just
warm
talk.
body to sleep
snuggle.
next to at night. Is that so wrong?
A little bit.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, I didn't
Just
make the
saying.
rules.
I'm just saying, hypothetically.
Blame the game, not the
saying-
player.
I'm saying that's fine too.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yes. So yes. So yeah, and I don't know. Like I said, and the thing with finding so I definitely see two different issues here. One is that you think like you're getting no attention because you don't have friends, then you're getting the wrong attention because you're a teacher's pet or something.
Right. Well, but she's saying the microbullying, and I think the microbullying may not even be happening. It's
Yeah,
probably
Right.
a carryover because
I think it's high school carryover.
bullying
as
in college, there's no like bullying, like because you don't really have cliques in college because there's
Right.
no what's the point? to bully and be like, yeah, I'm gonna call the police. Like, go fuck
Right.
yourself. I'm an adult.
Like, we're adults. We're all adults, and you're behaving like
Right.
this. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like, I'm not trapped as a
Oh.
minor, like in a
I,
situation that it's
I,
like, oh,
I
I'm gonna get in
encountered,
trouble. It's
I
like,
encountered
you know,
individuals in college that were like, that still didn't shake off that mindset of the bully. You know what I mean? So I saw the behavior
oh,
from them.
absolutely.
It wasn't as pronounced as it was, but they just couldn't let it go, right? Of being how they were,
I
right?
am not saying I did not get into fistfights at college.
Uh,
I certainly did. um, especially early on. I was held up against a wall up in at
Sorry about that, by the way. I'm sorry I did that
one
to you.
fun. It's okay. It's okay. It's water under the bridge now.
A long time ago.
But yeah. So when you're in those situations, yeah, you have.
I was
other
bullied a little
recourse.
bit. There were a couple of guys that teased me a lot, you know, but it wasn't like high school putting a locker thing, you know what I mean? It was like
Oh right, yeah, of course.
anyway. So Clara,
And no one's ever seen those guys again. Is
right.
coincidence?
They
I
don't
don't know.
matter. Exactly. It's right.
Right, they
It's
don't.
happens,
They
so
don't
true.
exist.
Who knows?
don't.
Does anyone even know who they were?
Who's
Who
to say?
knows?
No, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah, we
know.
can name names.
But Clara, yeah. So about making friends,
Right.
like our advice about go out to different clubs. There's so many activities and clubs in college, and there's going to be groups that are going to be welcoming. Join them. If you have a talent, if you're in music, join the band. You know, whatever it is, right? And you will find friends, guaranteed, right? If you want them. Like I said, you're introverted, so how you view your interpersonal relationships, you know, and the kind of friends that stick with you. Big thing.
Or find that like-minded group
Yeah.
and you know,
Right. The rest is
absorb
history.
that tentacle porn together.
We did.
Yeah.
We didn't watch Pinocchio porn together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, I think
Was that with you?
Green
Okay.
Pants is yeah, that's right. Green Pants is right there. You gotta
I've watched
you,
tentacle
you,
porn with so many people. It's very I don't know. I can't.
you gotta let
Pretty good
you gotta let the high school baggage go. I mean, you really do. You're an adult now. You know, it's just it's time. Good luck, Clara. We wish you well. Let us know how it goes. Okay, Francine from Canton, Ohio, which is where the Canton. How do we know Canton? That's the Football Hall of Fame, isn't it?
Is that where? Okay, I would not know Canton as the football
Yeah,
Hall of
Canton,
Fame.
Canton, Ohio. Yeah.
It might be.
SeaWorld. Isn't SeaWorld in Canton?
I
don't know.
I try to know as little about Ohio as possible.
Fair. So, Francine is from
Uh,
Canton, Ohio, though, and she is a 25-year-old female, new to the dating scene. Just got out of a
Okay.
3-year relationship recently and realized I'd never been out on a real date before. Not that unusual at your age, so don't worry with that long relationship. Like, no one has ever brought me to dinner and tried to get to know me or anything like that. I'm on Tinder, obviously. Yes, I know it's for hookups, but I really just want to go out on a new adventure. How do men want to be flirted with? Do you like compliments? Is it weird to compliment you? How should I start a conversation? Wow. Okay, we're starting from scratch here with Francine. Good for you for
Okay.
asking.
Do we like to be flirted with? Yes. How? Touch our dicks. Do we like compliments? Compliment our dick. Start a conversation by inquiring about our dick. I'm sorry. This is from the Book of Vanguard. I'm trying
Hot chart.
you know, touch the penis, cup the balls out of respect. You know,
Cup the
just do all
balls
of the,
out of respect. I do like two hands.
you
Cup
know,
the balls
get it?
out of respect.
But I mean,
Oh Lord. Oh.
Vanguard
my
is much
God.
more better prepared to answer this question. I
Francine,
think.
yeah. So yes, Tinder's for hookups. If you want to date, Tinder's not your place. I almost assure you.
Right.
If you want to use a regular
She knows
dating
that,
app,
I
that's
think.
fine.
I mean, Tinder literally isn't Tinder supposed to be like, listen, I don't want a relationship? Like,
You're
isn't that
kinda.
sort of the deal?
I think people start relationships on Tinder, but it depends on who you hook
Oh
up
no,
with.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's sort of like you definitely don't go into it with that expectation because
Yeah.
the idea is that it's for hookups.
Yeah, for sure. So it's yeah, so I'd recommend either regular dating apps or meeting friends of friends or going to activities that you enjoy and meeting people at those said activities. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So and once you meet somebody, you know, if you're not depends how, you know, good you are with initiating, but you know, asking, hey, would you like to go out grab for dinner sometime? Ask a guy on a date. I think he'd feel very flattered. Actually, if I was asked out, I feel very flattered. There's a societal bullshit standard that the woman asks the man, waits for the man to ask her out, right? Which is like,
I think
Bullshit.
that is kind of in the past now, especially with respect to like
Yeah.
if you're the type of woman who would feel comfortable asking a man out on a date,
Yes.
like a kind of man that you'd want to date would answer like yes, that would be great, and wouldn't answer like a troglodyte,
Right.
toxic male, and be
Ugh.
like, what?
Ugh.
He's like, okay, right there, never mind.
Done.
Like,
And we're done here.
all right, okay, we're done here. I'm sorry, I gotta, yeah. Um, so
But men are
yeah,
suckers for
but not
compliments, actually, because men are very ego oriented. So flattery
are
works
not.
very
I mean,
flattery works very
not
well.
necessarily.
Compliments work very well.
I wouldn't say not all men are necessarily ego driven, but
I think we're more
the
ego than women. I think men are typically more ego than women. Women are more id
I suppose,
and
yeah.
more
I
ego.
well, I mean, I guess it depends on like what are we talking about, looks? Are we talking about what is,
Anything.
just have more money, attractiveness, wealth,
Yeah, all of that,
status,
right? Like, oh,
all of that
I
stuff.
love your
Yeah,
eye. Like, if a woman came out and said, "Oh my God, I love your eyes. They're gorgeous," and I'd be like,
right.
"Oh, how you doing?" You know
Right.
what I mean? I'm like,
Right.
I'm in.
Or
It's like,
you can skip all of this,
yes.
touch his dick, and it's like, wow, we just stepped through all that bullshit of like,
There
oh,
you
it's
go.
my eyes and your
Well,
thing. Let's have dinner. You
the
want the
court,
lobster?
the
You have fish
courting
or chicken? Who's
ritual
gonna pay? Oh, let's
is.
split the bill. Okay, and we're gonna kiss goodnight. Touch his dick, and then he knows,
The courting ritual is a well-worn tradition in our society. I do
it
not
is.
recommend necessarily
Costs a
skipping
lot of
over
money.
that. It's a lot of money a lot of time, but you get to know people better before you decide if you want to
Can
touch
you
their dick or
imagine
not.
spending a huge amount of money on a date and getting nothing in return?
Yeah.
I mean,
Who knows about that?
I mean, me
I know.
so well. Not that I have
Lordy.
any expectations in return, but just
Yeah.
going out on extravagant dates, definitely self-inflicted wound.
Yeah.
But
So Francine,
did
so
see some great productions of Carousel.
yes, yes, you did. I remember that story. Oh my god. So Francine, yes. So to go with your questions here, is it weird to compliment men? No, men enjoy compliments. Do you like
Absolutely.
compliments? Yes, we like compliments. Compliments are nice. We like to feel like we're providing value to the world, and those things are good to compliment us on. How do we like to be flirted with? I guess I don't know. I guess it depends on the man somewhat, but I think like typical, like I would say these almost stereotypical at this point way a woman flirts is the flipping of the hair, the looking down, the giggle, the smile, all those little
Well, it's the
cues.
flirt with the intention type of thing. Like how do
Right.
you like to be flirt? I mean,
Yeah,
I think
touch a guy, not the
I think
dick,
if
not
you are an
the dick.
available guy,
Touch a
if you are an available guy, you like to be flirted with in any way that you are able to identify as someone flirting with you.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes,
like that is it's
Yes.
it's like because there's so much. Is she flirting with me? I have no idea. But like that's what I'm saying. Touch the
Yeah.
dick. But no, okay, gotta throw that one
don't
out.
touch the dick.
But fine.
Touch the arm. Touch the
don't-
arm is huge.
Yes.
If a woman touches
Yes,
your arm,
putting-
like gently puts her hand on your arm, then that's a good one.
Wow.
Great.
I am.
Initiating physical contact, breaking down the barrier of are we going to touch her or are we not? The woman just took it in her own hands and said, yes, we're going to touch. And the guy in his mind, if he's not consciously thinking about it, says, all right, girl's into me.
I think my daughter's 5th grade teacher wanted to fuck me. Oh. Isn't it? Oh.
It's actually likely.
You give me a lot to
Likely.
think about.
Yeah, no, likely. Yeah.
Suppose the principal of the school.
Yes.
Um.
Yes.
But yeah. So. But yeah. I would say with the flirting thing, especially like, it's not like, oh, I flirt with your hair, or flirt with it. No, flirt in a way in which the guy can tell that you are interested in him, and he will be excited. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, I am recognizing that, because what he doesn't want to do is be wrong. And
Right.
see you're flirting with him, and then he goes to engage, and you're like, what the fuck? And he's
Right,
like,
what's your
that
problem?
was,
Right. That's horrible. Yeah.
why, yeah. And then it's like, it'll be months before he starts out again. So, definitely be like, you could say something like, don't touch his dick. You could be like, I like dicks. Or, it doesn't have to be, so direct. You can, I mean,
I do not recommend this.
your feelings on casual sex.
Compliment.
Or
light body contact, not the penis. Touch his arm. Smile. Laugh at some
Here's the
stupid
penis.
joke he tells. Head, the hair, all these things. The giggle. They're all cues that a man uses to say, "Oh, this woman's interested." Yeah.
That sounds so. What is this? Mad Men?
Yes, kinda. I don't know.
Like I don't know. Or are we like? Are we? In...
Joke around with him, tease him lightly, saying, "Oh, if you blah 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 blah, huh?" And he'd be like, "Oh, she's got spunk, right?" So that also attracts men, this kind of thing.
Yeah, steal his car.
Oh,
Rob his
steal
house.
car.
Burn his house down.
Take his wallet.
You know?
That's a good one, actually. Steal his
Yeah.
wallet, and then call him and
Steal his
say,
wallet, yeah.
"Hey, I have your wallet. Come get it."
Steal his identity.
Take out a loan.
Actually, fuck that. You don't
a home
need a
equity
guy.
loan
You
in
just
his
need a guy's
name.
identity, and now get it. That's all you really need. I'm thinking, Francine. Really, what do you need a guy?
All right, we went a little
Like
far.
a fish needs a bicycle.
We went a little far on that. Like a fish needs a bicycle. We went a little far.
You
on
need
that,
a co-signer. That's fine.
Francine. So yeah, so go to these places. Hopefully, we got the information out on how to get these dates, go on these first dates. Ask a guy about himself. Most men, again, being stereotypical, but love to talk about themselves. Find out more about him. Ask questions. He loves questions. Hopefully, he asks questions about you if he's
He loves
if he's a
questions,
decent
by
gentleman.
definition.
Men love questions. Yeah, men love getting asked questions because they love talking about themselves. So, oh, I believe blah 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 blah. It's yeah. So good luck on the dating scene.
Yes.
Hopefully the flirting will work. Hopefully the going on the dates will work. Welcome to a whole new world.
And if nothing is getting through,
Don't touch
no
the
one to
dick.
touch.
Don't touch the dick.
I didn't say the word. I didn't say anything.
If that's
I
what you
just
want
said-
to do, she's already on Tinder.
what to
If
do.
that's what she wants, just do a Tinder swipe or whatever direction you swipe for Tinder. I don't even know. But
Yeah, like up, down,
something.
diagonally. I don't know.
Something. I don't
Left,
even know
right.
what
I
it
think
is.
it's left and right.
left.
I believe it's
yeah,
left
but
and right.
which one's the one that you mean she
I have
wants?
no idea
I don't
because
either.
one of them is like, yeah, swipe right, but I don't know which one's the insult.
I don't know it. Right. Exactly.
Like,
Is that
you could
swipe
be
right
like,
and you
yeah,
move
swipe
along?
left.
Like I don't even know what that
But
means.
I don't know. Yeah, or
Does-
if we, yeah.
Do
Exactly.
any of our viewers know which way to swipe on Tinder when you're
I-
interested in someone versus when
I-
you're not
to
interested in
me,
someone?
my guess is swiping left is like.
I think it's
this,
disregard
you're
because you do
basically
this.
Moving along.
Yeah, exactly.
moving
But
along,
back is like
right.
you want to cue it off. Like I want this one. I want this one. I want this one.
Maybe.
I think
but
that's my
yeah,
guess. That's my guess. So swipe left
the
is
chat.
dismissed. Swipe right. And yeah, chat. Please help us because we don't know what we're talking about with regard to Tinder. we,
Good.
Yeah.
With regard to
with regard, we
so
know many other
things
things,
going
but
on.
just not Tinder. Okay,
Right,
it's speed ride time, and it is you this
Oh,
time.
and you're
'cause
up.
You no,
Oh shit! It is me.
it's you because you threw me
Okay.
under the bus
Yeah.
last time. You gave me some ridiculous
I did.
questions.
I did
So-
give you some ridiculous questions.
I
so
know you did.
I-
All
that
right,
is-
so we're
that's
gonna.
on me.
So for those not familiar, speed round is we're gonna have 5 rapid fire questions for Green Parents, and he's gonna have 60 seconds to answer them. And
Counter will start from the time that Vanguard finishes the first question.
That
Counter will start,
is
and then
true. Does.
sometimes he takes a little
Questions
while
ready?
to. He's very slow with talking to the questions and stuff, and I got to speed him up a little bit, but we'll get through this.
Doing better than Steve Harvey, man. He like carries on forever
Right.
asking the questions. Like, come on, dude, get to the point.
That is true, especially in the Family Feud, and it's
my
like
God.
they got a very limited amount of time.
Right, seriously. There's a lot of money for these people, and he's like dismissing it. Like
Yeah.
it's anyway. I'm not gonna keep ripping on Steve
Cost
Harvey.
the Stewart family a fucking Hawaiian vacation.
There you go.
Fuck that guy.
Okay, so here's
Right.
your Green Patch. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you sure? Your first question is: what's the least important thing that's actually super important to you?
Hang your edge downward and not reversed like a fucking animal.
Got it. What sport do you think is the most boring to watch?
That's a true question. All of them.
I know.
Okay,
you're not a sport guy.
okay. Marathon, everything except Olympic women's beach volleyball.
Okay, fair. What's a cool activity you did as a kid that you can't do now?
Oh my god. Vicious UFC style schoolyard fights that resulted in zero consequences for anybody.
Yes.
Like that's buying a pack of cigarettes for both myself and my grandma.
What's the best bread?
French baguette, Italian bread, close second.
Gonna hang up on you for that one. What religion is the
Oh my
most? What religion is the most wrong? Oh, this is a perfect question for us.
Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, they're all so
6
ridiculously
seconds.
insane. All right,
6 seconds.
it's
5
hard.
seconds.
It's hard to pick one, but I have to go with the Mormons because they believe all of the crazy shit from the Abrahamic religions, but then they have a whole bunch of extra shit that's put in
Right.
by their cult grifter con man leader guy. So yeah,
Joseph Smith. But yes.
or Scientology.
Surprising. That's what I thought the answer should be. Scientology. That's my vote.
It
Scientology.
it it, it it's they're all so wrong, man.
But is Scientology? Yeah, Scientology's wrong. I'm trying to think. It's dumb, but is it wrong? I'm trying to differentiate dumb and wrong. You know what I mean? Like morally wrong. But Scientology is morally wrong because it's exploiting people and taking their
Right.
money.
But yeah,
Talking
I mean,
about
so,
Xenu and the
yeah, it is
volcano
a
and all this shit.
right. Scientology is a
Nonsense.
pure grift. It is
It's
literally
pure nonsense. It's the definition of grift.
It's a for-profit organization.
Yes,
It's
yes,
it's
yes.
literally
But yet does it have church tax exempt status? I think it does, doesn't it?
right. That
Insane.
you know what churches are mainly?
Even
for-profit organizations.
right. Even grifted the U.S. government is how good they're grifting.
Right. Pastors flying around in
Freaking
private
Scientology,
planes.
man. But Mormonism's right
Tell
up
me it's
there.
all charity.
Yeah, Mormonism, or as I'm sorry, as they try to mask it these days, LDS. It's
Right.
the same.
Yeah, because it depends on depending on what you really want to classify as religion and what
Mhm.
you know.
Right.
but
Oh, yeah,
what-
because there are
what
weird
is-
fringe religions out there that, right? We're just talking about
Right.
the major ones that have major followings, you know.
Right.
But we're getting at
But
them.
yeah, because the Mormons, they throw all of the Old Testament, New Testament stuff,
Right.
plus
Plus the Book of Mormon,
wooden submarines. And-
Jewish wooden submarines, and Joseph
Submarines,
Smith,
yeah.
and upstate New York, and finding golden books under trees.
Golden tablets
All that's
that
real,
have
by
the
the
word
way.
of God written on them.
Yes,
But the only way that you can read the tablets is if you look
Joseph
into
Smith.
the magic hat.
correct.
Magic hat.
Yeah.
And
I wish we were making this up. That this is not what
Only
Mormonism
person-
is, but it is what it is.
read and look in the magic hat was Joseph Smith because reasons. And people in 1875 were like, yeah, obviously.
Makes sense.
Because
That guy's got the
Americans have
answers.
always been fucking morons. Okay? That is basically our entire history. We have been fools since fucking the jump. Day one of America.
Oh my lord.
Dumbasses. Like, I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
all the people landed at Jonestown, they all died like 8 times before they actually were able to settle
Figured something
economies. They
out,
had
I
no
know.
idea what they were doing.
Hmm.
You'd be like,
People
yeah,
left Europe
you know.
for a reason. They were too. It just didn't fit
Right.
in. It's
Be like, okay, what are we gonna do with like 48 sailors?
right.
We gotta build a town. Anybody know anything?
Anything
God,
about
we all
building a
died.
town? Anyone at all? Right.
And then- Oh, we're being attacked, and
And we're dying, and we're dead.
um.
Best
All right,
bread.
so
Best
what
bread.
was-
You said French baguette. Yeah.
Oh yeah, French baguette is that's like if you were to just put a bread in front of me, like a French baguette
Yeah,
is the,
yeah.
which is not to say, like I love like sourdough.
Sourdough's
like I
good.
said, Italian bread,
The
breadstick,
brown bread at Olive Garden, man, is freaking good. Like,
breadsticks.
oh, so good.
Yeah.
No. The brown. They give you a brown loaf. No, Olive Garden.
Oh,
I'm
the
sorry. I'm
loaf
sorry.
Yeah,
Outback.
that's-
Outback.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the brown
The
bread.
brown loaf. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. See, not everyone likes the brown loaf.
I'm
That and
shocked.
it's got like that, yeah, with the butter on it and all that.
So good.
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 I'm thinking of in the question that you asked. I think you said, "What's a cool activity that you did as a kid?"
Yeah.
Because there are so many things that you like. It's just like you can't go to the grocery store and buy like a huge amount of Sudafed, which then you can later then boil down into methamphetamine.
Right.
Like they have rules against that now.
Is that cool? Was that ever
Um,
cool? Not if it was.
It was well, it was possible. I mean, it
Yeah.
was yeah, I think it was more of like the it was you could do things without worrying about being filmed. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
you could do stuff with
Because everything can be recorded
That,
forever now,
like,
right? And it
re-
used to not be
rel-
true.
it- like the stakes were just lowered.
Right.
Not with terms of safety. The
Right.
stakes were definitely
No,
higher. when
in
it
terms
came
of
to just
consequence.
Dumbassery.
Long-term
Yeah,
consequence.
but in terms of like as long as if you made it through safely,
Mhm.
there were no long-term consequences in terms of media coverage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Or admissible
that-
evidence, for example.
Yeah. So like being like a cool activity, being able to like be a kid and not have to worry about okay, who took a picture of it, whatever. Because like that, like, is like I'm like, yeah, I can't even figure out what that would be. I guess I would have. I don't know what my childhood would have been like if I wasn't like constantly fighting. Like I don't like.
Right.
Like, I wasn't constantly running for my life. Like I don't like that really was my childhood. But I
Alien
guess
concept. Yeah.
But regrets for there were no questions asked, which I always thought was
There you go.
funny. You didn't even need a note.
What's that? Oh, you know, yeah, totally,
You
right?
know,
Like just
like
whatever,
extreme sports with no equipment. Like
no
I
problem.
did I did BMX bike racing for
No
years.
helmet.
None of us wore helmets.
No, wasn't
The
the thing
only
to
ones
do.
that wear helmets is if you had a motor.
Right.
It wasn't until later, it was like 90 or so that it was like, hey, you know what? You
Yeah.
guys should put
It
helmets
was
on.
like try wear helmets. I'm like, I don't want to do with helmet,
At
right?
that
Like
point,
whatever.
I was old and out of it, but I was like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Agreed. At the time, no helmets was the way, right? So it was a
oh, anything. I mean,
different world.
basically, you went up off a jump, and then somebody, hit someone. It's a pylon of just boys and bikes
Right.
landing on each other
Right. And it's just a
in a
mess
giant
of
crush.
and bloody, disgusting.
Just
Yeah, mess.
yeah,
Right. It's like,
and then they just spray you down with the
yeah,
Bactine and
vaccine that all, wipe it down with a washcloth, and right back out you go.
That's it, push it, go back
Yeah,
out there,
go back
jam.
out. Because they don't want to.
Yeah,
Your parents don't want to deal with you while you're inside. Right. Just go.
right. Well, yeah,
Cool.
it was more about you were gonna get in trouble at home, being like, "Oh, I ripped my pants."
Right.
Or
Right.
whatever.
More about
Like,
the pants than it
"Oh,
was your gaping head
yeah,
wound.
exactly. Like, oh my god, fucking,
Oh. I found out I had
Um,
a this is funny. I went for an eye. This is like maybe 5 years ago. I went for an eye exam after a while, and they do the whole ophthalmological, the whole thing to go in there and take the pictures and all that.
Yep.
And the
They
doctor
look all the
came
way in the
in.
back of your head.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, this is weird." I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "Look at that." And on my cornea, there's a scar on the back of my cornea that runs down like pretty decently
Oh,
sized. And she's like,
yeah.
"What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, I remember that. It's like when I fell off a 12-foot slide onto my head. You know what I mean? It was like because we were
Well,
doing standing on the slide and leaping down, so going face
Yep.
first down the slide, and I leaped and
As
I
you
just
do.
bounced off and I fell. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
You know something
But
they don't let kids do now?
jump off
That.
slides, right? Exactly.
I'm trying to think of like at the Y, they'd be like, "Stop!"
Right.
Like,
Like,
when,
why?
like 8 adults around. Yeah, like you know.
Yeah.
One of the things I always found interesting about like they're describing European parenting to American parenting
Yeah.
is that if it was, I think it was someone in Germany, you know, you go to the park and you see these kids
Mhm.
playing, and all of the parents are facing the children, watching them.
Mhm.
And in Germany, all the mothers are facing away, talking to each other,
Right.
not looking at the kids at all. They're
Right.
just there
Right.
in case they're needed,
Right.
but no one is looking at the kid, has like
No.
any of that. It's like because everyone's okay. Well, oh, be nice. Okay, play. It's like there's no like it's letting the kids basically they have to like work out their own rules amongst
Right.
themselves.
Right.
You know. And
Very
as we
Lord of
learned in
Flies.
Lord of the Flies,
There it
yeah,
is.
exactly. And that ended perfectly well, and
Perfect.
everybody got what they deserved. And that was
Poor kids.
that describes
Yeah.
exactly what happens if
That's
you
right.
fucking leave a bunch of boys on an island.
Right.
Yeah, they
That's
likely
right.
turn into monsters.
Exactly. It's amazing.
Sorry,
You
that's
give,
true.
give two boys without fail, any like child under 5, like get 2 of them in a pen, throw 2 sticks in there, absolutely guaranteed they'll beat each other with the sticks. Like this, there's no question. They
Well, you
will
got to make sure you
each
beat the other
other
one because unless
the
he beats you
sticks.
first.
Right.
You don't know what he's gonna do.
That's
Come on,
right.
like
2 boys
that's
in a
just
pen,
lizard
2
brain
sticks.
instinct.
They will be. They know nothing. They've never
Yeah.
seen it before,
They
but
know
they
nothing
they
other
know to
than
pick up those sticks and beat each other with
challenge.
them. Right. That's
They
all
know they are being challenged, and they know that their reputation is at risk and their status in the community. They know
Yes.
this as babies,
Yes.
and that's why we have baby UFC.
Maybe UFC. Oh, Super J says justice for Piggy. Who's Piggy? Justice for Piggy.
Like I'm thinking Piggy and Elephant or Gerald and Piggy,
I don't know. Super J, what pig are you talking about? You
or
lost us. But what?
is this a
Oh,
Peppa Piggy thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
Too
So
many-
so the sport. You
many
said
possibilities.
anything but volleyball, right? Is kind of what you said.
No. Well, I said marathon. To me, makes no sense.
Oh, Lord of the Flies. Oh,
You're just
Piggy
there,
from Lord of the Flies.
you
That's
know.
what she meant.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Sorry,
gotcha.
Super J.
Yeah,
We
I
lost
had
the
already.
topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Our bad.
Because,
Thank
my
you.
brain had already switched pages, and that was on the backside, and I didn't see Piggy at all because he was covered up by all the new shit that I was talking about.
For me, baseball. Baseball is the most boring, worst activity. I don't even call it a sport in existence, and I can't stand it.
I think that's fair.
I would
I
rather
think
watch.
it-
I would rather watch tennis than watch baseball, and that's saying a lot.
I will say that though, cricket is just baseball but longer.
Right.
So
yeah, cricket never stops.
It's
Cricket goes
yeah.
until there's a dude, the timekeeper, who decides time to go to the bar.
Until the 8 hours are up.
And he says, "Okay, time for the bar."
And then you resume
everybody
the next
goes,
day.
"Great," and they all go to the bar.
Yeah, and you go back the next day. But if you're just watching it, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like
Baseball.
I mean, the only sports I like watching really are, I think, sports that take very short amount of time, like
Yes.
Olympic runs, like
Fair.
ski jumps,
Yeah.
like hot dogging aerials or something like that, where you're just like boom, or like gymnastics,
Yes.
where it's like here's the routine, and you're just like
holy
shit.
crap, right?
Right. That was like of this latest Olympics. The only thing that I don't have cable or anything,
Yeah.
was like the women's gymnastics was the only thing that I was really kind of following, because it's like they're like
Really-
machines that are able to like
really-
do the impossible things.
It's really girls' gymnastics because they're all like 15, 16, right? But yeah, it's amazing.
It's more
what
of
they
just
can
like
do.
the impossible, like I don't understand. It's like
How do you do that? Yeah, triple.
yeah, or just like with
Backflip,
it's like, oh, I get the
craziness.
twisties. Of course you do. Like, oh, well, sometimes I freak out because I don't know how I'm gonna land. How are you not always like that?
You're literally spiraling end over end in three
people are-
dimensions in the air to land on your
If
feet.
people were given like Dominique Dawes shit because she was just like, yeah, I don't, I need a break, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want
Simone Biles.
like,
Simone
okay.
Biles. Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. Oh, who does I say? Oh, Dominique Dawes was earlier. I'm thinking
Earlier,
that's even older Olympic, or further
Yeah.
back.
Freaking prodigy Simone Biles, man. She freaking rocks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because I think she has her own. Doesn't she have her own maneuver now or something? Because like, she was the one to do it.
Yeah. She pushed the envelope and now it's her own maneuver. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like something with
Crazy.
like forward twists or whatever. Like,
And
Um,
much more baseball. And the thing is, they're changing the rules of baseball all the time because they understand it's the most boring sport in the universe. So they're like,
Right.
they
Well,
used to do the whole bullshit where they'd throw some weird pitch and then the catcher would come out and they'd have a conversation with the pitcher and he'd go back and it was just never ending, right?
They put limits on all of that stuff. So
Yes.
like, what was really really slowing it
Between
down
pitches.
it was like we're having every pitcher do half an inning.
Right.
So we're just gonna full our bullpen with like 8 relief pitchers, and now we're gonna wait and we're gonna warm up and we're gonna come out and then we're gonna wait. It's like it was just and fans thought it was ridiculous.
Right.
And also just like having like a pitch clock.
Yeah.
Because it was just taking forever. Of
Right.
like, oh, I'm gonna throw it. Am I gonna
Yeah.
throw? No,
Right.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. It's enough for the bullshit.
It's
Throw
like,
the goddamn
fucking
ball.
go.
Throw the goddamn ball.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be here. Throw the ball.
Someone who was
It's been crazy.
taken or to dozens upon dozens of baseball games as a child against my will.
Yeah. I've taken a few.
I will say it was very boring. And
the hot dogs are quite good though. I love the steamed dog. Very pleasing.
if
Very pleasing.
and that's almost I found I've been to probably at least 20 of like the major hot dogs are pretty much good at all of them. Like in general, I mean,
That's
like
true.
fan.
Oh, you cut out a little bit.
Has
Oh,
something.
you're back.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium has its thing. Wrigley Field, Yankee Stadium, Fenway, all that stuff. Each has their own like famous hot dog, but
Fenway Frank.
I'll eat your hot dog, but I won't watch your stupid game.
Right.
It's fucking boring. I don't watch any of those games.
Oh my lord.
I'd rather read a good book.
There you go.
All right,
And
so I think we
then-
covered it.
No, we didn't say that. What's
We-
the
we-
least
we missed-
important thing that's super important to you?
Yeah, because I was talking about the toilet paper thing because it does
Oh yeah.
annoy
well, if
me
you-
that
if you
when
look
people
at-
put it underneath because I'm
Right,
like
agreed.
because it's and I've
Right.
seen it in shows and stuff where they were trying to like figure out like men versus women who does it and it's something like 80-20 is
Is
how
it?
people like set it up,
Yeah.
but I believe
In
that
the actual patent for the toilet paper, it shows it over. I think
Yes,
settles, which I think
exactly.
settles the debate.
right. Well, you would think well look at GIF versus GIF
Right, exactly.
in that debate.
The thing with the toilet paper,
Um,
though, the only thing I can see the plus side, if it's flipped the way it should be, you have a cat that likes to do this, it'll unroll the
Right,
whole thing.
and I've heard that before, but that's such a very specific like.
Yeah.
If you have a cat and the cat gets in here and does
Then
this
fine,
thing,
flip
it's
the
like,
toilet
yeah,
paper
okay.
around, right?
Right. You know,
For sure.
like, well, what happens if I have a bear that comes and he pisses all over the entire bathroom before he
Right.
moves in?
What should I
What about
do?
that?
What's
Well,
that scenario look like? Yeah, exactly.
it's like, um,
I don't know what's my most least important. I mean, that's a big one for me, the toilet
yeah,
paper for sure. But I don't know.
or a big little one. Like I'm trying to think of things that are
Right,
like it's minor, but it just does
right.
like annoy the shit out of me.
And I have a
'Cause
lot
have
of
a whole
OC
lot
because
of
I have a lot of OCDisms, right? So things have to
yeah,
be just right. Like all my accoutrements around my area, all the
not
stuff
touching
behind
it.
me needs to be exactly where it needs to be. You know what I mean? It's very particular. It's like, but it
You can't
ultimately
touch the other food.
food can't touch.
Yep.
Hate that.
Yep. Vegetables need to not exist as a concept.
Separate barriers of demarcation between the food types.
Yep.
Very important.
Understand that.
No parsley on my pasta. Tell at the restaurant all the time. And I feel like a dick when I say it too. I'm like, can I have the tortellini Alfredo, please? Oh, but can I have no parsley on that, please? And they're like, oh, okay, sure. And then maybe 30% of the time it comes with the parsley on it, you know, because they don't think about it. And I'm like,
Right.
I look at it and I pause and I look at it. And sometimes the waiter says, oh, you said no parsley. Or sometimes they don't and they walk away. And I'm like, okay. But I take my fork and
Honestly,
I pick off each piece of parsley before I start eating it.
Keyword, and the only one they listen to is the word allergy. Because then they go,
right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Liability.
Now that's
yes.
a liability.
Yes.
So, like, and I've actually not, because I'm allergic to mushrooms. And
Can I say I'm allergic to parsley?
Normally,
Do you think I should say that?
if you want to not get parsley,
yes.
If you say you're allergic to parsley, you will never get parsley. Like, or unless they don't understand you or whatever.
But then I'm
like,
lying and I
trying
can't
to kill
do that.
you.
I can't lie. I can't do that. It's like just parsley.
Right. Oh my god, you're such a pain in the ass. Oh my god. Okay. Can't lie. But right, tell the truth. Like, I gotta think about that. I don't know. if you're locking me into
like,
truth,
if you're gonna be honest, I got
really,
nothing for you.
You're really limiting. Like, you are severely limiting my
Bounds
options
like
in
this.
terms of how I can assist.
Thank you, Super J. I will not lie about having a parsley allergy that I don't really have. So
Okay.
yes.
Say, if I see parsley, I projectile vomit. No, because then you'd be lying again.
I'm also lying, right?
But you'd be also lying.
I could probably force myself to vomit if I.
I think there's something we can do. We can workshop it.
I think so. We can workshop. We'll come up with a way for me not to get parsley in my freaking pasta ever again.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you can reasonably take it off, you know, as opposed to mushrooms is when
sometimes it takes a
put
while.
it in a sauce or something and they don't.
I know. I hear you.
It's like
I hear you.
That's where I've gotten burned a couple times.
Yeah,
where it's like
mushroom sauce.
No one ever thought it had mushrooms. It was
right.
just that it was sautéed in a thing, and it was like, oh, that wasn't part of it. But it was like, oh, but we used the same one from the steak, and oh shit.
Right. And normally it's like almost all the time if you get like a fillet or like a prime rib. The sauce it'll be a mushroom,
right?
At least in it a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I'm very
the au jus. They call it the au jus.
Thai food as well. No, they don't call it. That means with juice.
Au jus.
It's just jus.
Jus
is juice. Au jus is with juice.
With the
so
juice.
It's like, give me with juice.
Are you currently with juice? Au jus.
Right. You make it sound weird. Stop saying it weird. You're making it weird. Now I feel weird.
Men, I don't know. What do I call it? Men au jus. Man with the juice. Men au jus. Everything with men before it sounds grosser.
Listen, what you do on the dark web is up to you, and we try to keep it on this side. Right. Yeah, the Onion browser. Yeah, you know. But that's what we have Tor for.
Oh my god. Well, very good. I think you're right. I think we covered it. I think we got it. We got to everyone's questions. We got more in the queue, but keep sending them in. We'll try to prioritize based on urgency. I know there was one a couple weeks ago when I think we failed to observe some urgency, and it was very timely, and I think we missed the window. But hopefully it worked out for that person.
Yeah. I mean, while the questions come in, I do continually, I read through them all and I sort them, and then, pick randomly for the ones that get, put up, but I try to if yours is extra important, just put your Venmo with it, and it'll get right to the top of the list.
Oh my goodness.
Is that not allowed? I don't know. I don't even have Venmo.
Do you know what Venmo is?
I don't even not Cash App,
Cash App.
PayPal,
PayPal.
Google Pay.
That's
Apple.
right. But with that
All
said, we'll be off. So everyone, thanks for coming by again. Super J,
Thank you
love
so
you
much.
as always. Thank you for
Always,
joining us.
always a pleasure to
Yes.
know that you're out there.
Yes.
As, makes this worthwhile.
And we'll be back here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday. Come back Tuesday and you'll find us. Until then, we'll catch you next time. And, please never forget that we are here to help. Oh, Super J, give us a kiss. Mwah. Love you, Super J.
Love you, Super J. We're here to help.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Please don't let Vanguard